Alright, welcome to another episode of Soda Desperado Plays Skyrim. We're playing a character called Magica, who is a dark elf with a very fond love for fire. In the background I place videos from people, just regular whatever pops up on YouTube. And I've got like 4 of them set up, so we'll probably do a couple of them and then stop the session and then go do another session. But this is all for entertainment purposes, interesting topics, for some people. If you don't like the topic, you can skip it, that's cool, let's go back here. We're going to continue where we left off, wherever that was. Level 29. All right. I think I need a lot more destruction training. I know who can train me in destruction, but for now I want to make sure I can get my light armor up. Because I am eventually going to go to armor, so I'm not completely weak. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, let's introduce the video first. Okay, I got several videos. I got 4 or so. So this one is by Kano Daily, the Philippines and more. So all the things you can give a Filipina, let her see that you are happy, is the most important thing. Okay, so there's a trend where guys go down to other countries and marry women from over there. And he's talking about the Philippines. So what the Filipina really wants.
We survived our brush with our first tropical storm of the year. Debbie, she's up in Georgia, and the Carolinas now. We have this one last little feeder band going through part of Florida, like through down south of where I am, through Orlando. They were just saying on the morning news there's a tornado warning. Little rotation heading over toward Mims and Titusville or something, I guess. But life is good. It's going to pull in some dry air behind it for the next couple of days. Kind of breezy. Won't be bad delivering mail. So what does your Filipina really want? Everybody out there, videos, what a Filipino wants from you. But I think a lot of people who have been involved in actual relationships with Filipinas, especially any kind of a long-term relationship that's actually been some kind of a success, instead of just, giving expert advice on YouTube on how to date people, will tell you that the thing your Filipina really wants is to see you happy, That's the one thing they don't like. Especially a lot of Americans who swear all the time, things like that. Or some of us, it's just a way of expressing ourselves. We don't really mean anything by it. But, for people from the Philippines, where a lot of them don't really swear too much, it's kind of like a shock to their system. They automatically think that, you must be really mad about something, instead of just, they don't realize it's just the way we talk. And even when they do realize it, still it kind of bothers them. But what they really want to see is that you look happy and you seem happy in your relationship, in anything, They look at your face. I don't know, I know people have told me through the years, that I have like, resting bitch face. And sometimes when I'm just thinking intensely about something, and just, I'm one of those people that, I've got like a really emotional side and creative side, as a writer and a guitar player and everything. And on the other hand, I've also got a very, precise, methodical, meticulous side when I'm focused on something that, just very intense, So sometimes I'll just be thinking about something, and people are like, "Why are you mad?" And like I want to kill somebody or something. So you have to watch things like that. Those are little things that you don't always think about. But I remember one time when my wife was still over in the Philippines, and I think we were still just engaged at the time, and I was talking to her, like video chatting, and she was like, "Wow, you look so happy today," and that's what they want to see. They want to see that you're happy. If they pick up on those things, your mood is going to influence her mood all the time. They just don't like to hear you, like if you're like, you seem like you're upset about something or bitching about something, even just, like kind of like under your breath to yourself or whatever. They pick up on that. They're very sensitive to those things. And then it puts them in a bad mood. If you're anxious and stressed out about something, if you're mad about something, or, I know sometimes with my wife, I'll start talking about something, and, even if it's not something as far as like me being mad or something, just too much intense crap about stuff, and whether it's politics or the economy or any subject, it's just like, please, my head hurts right now. Don't want to have too much thinking about things sometimes whenever they're, very tired, been working all day or whatever, and they want to be able to chill and just cut loose. And that's something you have to remember, that your mood is going to seriously affect, whether or not they're happy. So you need to be happy. Obviously, anytime that you're in a relationship with someone, you want to think that the other person is enjoying it, and that you being in that person's life is making their life happy, and that they are, having the kind of life they want to have. And when they're always acting unhappy and bitching and, just seeming grumpy or whatever, you wonder, well, why? Is it me? Aren't they happy? And that's probably the best piece of advice that I could give someone if you're involved with a Filipina, and that's to be happy, and not just be happy, but you have to let them see that you're happy, and try to control yourself with the swearing, and when even if you are stressed about something, you try not to show it too much. Sometimes, you want them to, maybe it's a serious situation that you're dealing with or whatever, and you need them to realize too how serious it is, but you also have to understand that your responsibility in that relationship is to take care of their emotional health and well-being. And you have to understand that they aren't interested in being all stressed out all the time about things. Oh man, I'm gonna miss the lights. Have to wait, try and get around that person turning to Starbucks. But that would be the biggest piece of advice, You get all these people online talking about, dating Filipinas and stuff. And they always want to talk about the cool sounding stuff that makes them sound like a dating expert or some kind of a Romeo, And they don't really tell you the practical stuff, the things that are actually important. Because, what your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, whoever is really looking for is to know that you're happy. And all these people that are always stressing out about, she wants something from me, or I got to make sure she doesn't take too much of my money, and things like that, always trying to keep her at arm's distance and kind of keep a buffer there, like a lot of guys do, especially the guys who aren't really serious about anything except having some fun. That's the one thing that they miss, that they pass over, that's really the most important, is that they want to know that you're happy. And not that just you're, happy in terms of, wow, I'm hanging out with a hot chick for, some limited amount of time and having fun with her, but that, in terms of having an actual real relationship. And then if you are actually in an adult relationship and living with someone, especially if you're married, you have to think about, the just typical adult responsibilities of life. You want to make your wife happy, probably it's not going to be any kind of romantic, sexual thing or taking her someplace fancy. It might just be getting up off your butt and turning off the TV and maybe doing the dishes when they need done after she has worked all day cooking and stuff, things like that. That's just part of two people living together and having a family, all those practical everyday things. It's not like some big romantic gesture, but it's just taking care of things and helping her when you see that she is stressed about something or not feeling well or whatever. Instead of just leaving everything that you think should be, women's work or something to her, you pitch in and help. I remember one time when I was a little kid, we lived out in the country. Even when we were little, after dinner every night, my brother and I had to wash the dishes. And we had to take turns doing, one of us would wash and then the other one would rinse them and put them in the drainer. And then the next day it would be the opposite. We'd switch. We would stand up on chairs in front of the sink and do it when we were too small to reach the sink and everything. So that was our job. And one time they were wondering where I was. I was taking so long. And I was supposed to be out helping my brother do the dishes. And then I came out of the bathroom and had like curlers, like my mom's curlers in my hair. This is obviously back when I actually had hair. And I said, if I'm going to do woman's work, I'm going to look like a woman, And, I had a home ec teacher at one time in high school or junior high. She used to be like, she's like, most guys, they just deal with it, but you just don't seem happy in home ec, And so I guess I wanted to do the more manly, outdoorsy stuff instead of, sit there at the sewing machine making a pair of swimming trunks and all of that, and learning how to cook. I do wish I still had the recipe we made for walnut coffee cakes, though, from those canned biscuits. I wish I still had that because those were pretty yummy. So I can't say that home ec was useless for me, but you kind of have to avoid that, as we all learn when we get involved in real world relationships, and especially if you're living on your own anyways, you're going to end up doing a lot of that stuff. So most of us have learned to do it. And I know I spent years and years living on my own and having to go and do all my laundry and stuff, especially with my postal uniforms and stuff, and having to iron clothes. And so that's something that all of us kind of sometimes rebel against, having to do. Nobody wants to do all that housework, and that includes the wife. Women aren't any different than men, though. Certainly, I have to say that my wife is. She loves taking care of me. You find a good woman from the Philippines, they've definitely learned how to take care of a family and take care of people. They cook, they know how to cook, they know how to look after people. They've got a lot of experience taking care of other people in their own families and being part of big family gatherings where everybody's cooking, and that's all a big part of their whole lifestyle, So you find a good woman from the Philippines, you're going to be well taken care of. But you have to take care of her too, and especially emotionally. You need to let her see that all that stuff she does for you, that you do appreciate it, and that she is making you happy. I remember the first time when I was going over to the Philippines after I had just first met my wife. At the time, we had just been talking for a little bit online, and I was going back over there to the Philippines for a few weeks, and we decided, we were going to get together, and I was talking about different places we could go, or and maybe things we could eat. And my wife was like, she's like, I can cook too, and so from the start of my relationship with her, went back over from Manila to Mindanao to hang out with her family, and it's always people cooking, and it's just a big part of the family tradition. Everybody pitches in and making things, and the whole process of doing all that, and everybody hanging out and being happy and getting together as a family and gossiping and cooking together. That's all a very big part of the culture. So you're going to be well taken care of if you find a good woman from the Philippines, but you have to let her see you appreciate it, and that you don't just sit around being like glum faced and or especially if you're hanging out with other friends, like other expats or whatever, other people, or if you're here in America just hanging out with the other guys, don't just act like you take it for granted. So first of all, be happy and show her that you're happy, and also be appreciative. And the thing is, with both of those, it's not just about feeling it, it's about showing it. You need to let her see that you really are happy. So have a good day.
Take care of yourself, and always remember, the world is ripe with people looking to spill your blood.
Alright, so I muted there for a moment so that, we can listen to the gentleman. So he's talking about marrying somebody, and he's saying that those ladies are like very family oriented. They know how to take care of each other, take care of people. What is that saying about America, our country? You know what I mean? What is that saying about us, how we think? Basically, the argument, and I've heard this basically everywhere, is that everyone is just too selfish to be that kind of person. Everyone is just too selfish and too self-indulged to be selfless for someone else. What I learned with my experience with my roommate was, and I'm an older guy to be having a roommate. Normally at this age you wouldn't have roommates. It's kind of silly, but I wasn't very successful. What I learned is that they will sit there, stare at you, and bullshit you every step of the way. They will bullshit you because in the end, they don't want to pay rent. They don't want to be responsible, and they will push their responsibilities on you, their problems, their issues. Now, this guy was sick, so I cut him 2 months of slack. He was sick and not paying for 2 months, and I cut him slack because he was sick. He couldn't work. He had 2 jobs. He lost both jobs because he was too sick, and I don't blame him for that. But I have to pay the rent, and I can't be paying rent for you. I hit a time limit, and I said, you know what? I'm tired of this guy. He's just wasting my money, electricity, space. He's not doing anything. He's not contributing. So I got to get him out of here. So I told him I can't carry you anymore, and I had to ask him to leave. And he had already had plans to leave. He was literally staying there till the last moment. He had already planned to leave. He already had himself packed up. He knew that he was going to be put out. So this guy, if my guess is right, he planned it. But it's okay because he was a friend of mine. We're not the closest of friends anymore, but that's cool. He was sick. Anybody who's sick like that, where you can't even get up off the fucking bed, telling me he's dehydrating in the next room, and there's, the bathroom's right there and the kitchen's right there. I mean, this is a small apartment. It's not, he can knock on the wall and I'd be happy to get him water. I got him juices and little things like that to keep him going. Just little juices. And, those, I think that was like almost a gallon juice over there at half a gallon. No, it's probably half a gallon of juice. But anyway, the point is, I went ahead and I helped him out as best I could to the very end. But in the end, like I said, I can't carry you. That's just too much, way too much. So, in the end, what I learned is that he did look me in the eyes and try to bullshit me and talk his way out of things. He made a lot of mistakes. But I don't take it personal. I just say, well, that's just the way people are nowadays. You know, that's the way they are. And it's sad. You know, I expected more from myself and him. But, you know, we move on. What he's saying is that over there, what he's saying is that over there, they learned how to take care of each other, which is something you don't get a lot around here. You know, you don't get a lot around here for that. Most people, like my personal family, if I was going to compare what this gentleman said about the Filipinas to my personal family, I'd have to say, holy shit. I mean, you know, my mother, I had to beg her for some place to stay in her apartment after I wound up in trouble. And I had to basically hope that she would take care of, you know, she said she'd take care of at least one of my cats. Just one out of the, 5 cats I had at the time. I have 6 now that come in and out. And she just would not do it, you know what I mean? She wouldn't do it. And she just was nothing but resistant. I said I wanted to go meditate next to a tree. She'd get on my ass about it. I wanted to open a business. She got on my ass about it. I kept trying to get my career going. After so many years of trying, I just gave up because I realized these people are not hiring me. They don't want they don't want somebody a graduate. They don't want a graduate without experience. They don't want to groom anybody. I went up north and there were some jobs over there, but all these jobs kept going to Indians and Mexicans and for everywhere else. The company I worked for, one of the first companies that did employ me within my capacity was I won't say their name or anything, but the guy he saw my degree and he Xeroxed the degree and put it in my file. That's the old-fashioned way of doing it. And you know, he paid really well. They trained me well, but the 2 guys that were in charge were Mexican. They weren't from this country, but at least they were here legally with the green card, and without them, you just didn't have a functioning company. But you know, I didn't last there because the boss had a bad way about him. He wasn't a bad man, I sensed, but he was too militant in his approach, and the justification was, if he didn't run that place like that, you know, the whole thing would just come apart. And I'm like, well, I guess that's partially true. Can't say for sure on that, you know. But anyway, it was nice to learn that. But yeah, like one time when I was younger, when I was in the church, this is years ago, my God, like over 30 years ago, Brother Russell and another brother, I forgot his name, they went down south to get wives. They went down south to Mexico, and they married women that didn't even speak English.
Take a look.
Brother Russell didn't speak Spanish. I guess they spoke body language or something. But that's the way it is, man. I'm telling you, these people, they're like, I can't find one here, so I might as well just go somewhere else, you know. And that's part of what gets people to get up and travel. Like, you're living in a village, right? And there's no chicks there, or all the chicks are taken. You really don't want to take somebody else's woman. So you move on. You just pack up your shit and you leave and you go to the next village. You know, you're not going to stand around there. If you want a woman and a wife and a new life, and maybe you didn't hit it off well with these people or whatever, or you're being persecuted. You know, in the old days there were a lot of religious persecution. You just pack your shit up and leave. You know, no duh. You know, just bye. I got to go. Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting. That's an interesting topic. That's why I'm a bit off. I was Why are you guys running around in here? You're not supposed to be in here, you little shits.
Be careful.
You little shits running around. Getting in my way? How dare you get in the hero's way? The hero. Can't you see I'm a hero? A hero dressed like a hero. You little shits. You little shits. They're going everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh my God, they're running everywhere. Ah, they're everywhere. Ah. Anyway. Kids. Yeah, I wanted to be a daddy, but, you know, no mommy wanted to be the mommy. The mommy wants to be the daddy. And let me be the mommy. And it's like, no, I don't think so. That's not going to work. Oh, my God, that's so funny. Anyway, I was hoping to get more crystals, but she didn't have that many. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm just leveling up. And I'm trying to get destruction training. Because destruction training, if I can max it out as much as possible, that would be awesome. Smithing is just a quick way to get up there in levels. Anyway, let's go move on to the next video. Let's see. Alright, thumbs up for you, gentlemen. It's called Kano Daily, the Philippines, and More. That's the name of it. Alright, good job. Now this guy, men are relaxing as it all collapses. You know, like men are just not wanting to get with modern day women. They just want to hit it and quit it at the best. They don't want a relationship anymore. I guess their attitude is more like, these bitches. But anyway, oh boy. Anyway, men are relaxing as it all collapses. The after pill. Okay. All right. It says the 5 key principles for the modern man. Okay. Well, I'm not very manly. I'm more like a pussy with a dick. But, you know, the point is that, you know, this is the trend that's out there. These are the videos people put out because this is what they perceive is going on in their lives. And it's sad, but let's go ahead and take a look. We're at about 27 or so minutes, so we'll start this, gentlemen.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
The after
and once
pill.
again, I am outside with it, cooking on this beautiful but hot day, 100-degree weather day here in Dallas, Texas, man.
Yeah.
And I have an interesting, very interesting topic for you guys today, man. And if you didn't know, I just wrote my first book, The 5 Key Principles for the Modern Man. You can get that on Amazon. You can get that in paperback and Kindle. And also I'm offering one-on-one consultations. If you want to get your body right, you want to get your mind right, your finances right, hit that link in the description. But I have a very interesting topic for you guys today, man. And it is very, very important. It is very, very essential that you guys pay attention. Men are relaxing and exiling themselves out of society.
Oh shit.
And just watching it collapse.
Crumble.
And it's going to get worse, much worse, as the years go by.
Hey, man.
If you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to the media, many men are not in the workforce. Many men are not getting married. Many men are not approaching women. Many men are just saying, to hell with it. They're not putting up a fight. They're not fighting back. Many men just, quite frankly, don't care. And that's bad. That's bad. Well, it's bad for society. And it's definitely bad for the American society, right? If you have a bunch of men who are not working, who's going to carry on the infrastructure of society? Who's going to fight the wars of society, right? Who's going to pick the women up when they fall down in society, right? And it seems like society wants men to do every single thing with no return on investment at all. Everything is equal, right? Men and women are equal, right? But why isn't the courts
Be quick.
reflecting
I have
that?
little patience for mundane concerns.
Why isn't the courts reflecting that? Why isn't
I can teach
the
you,
military
but I won't be
reflecting
held
that?
responsible.
Why isn't the child custody courts reflecting that? Why are all the hard jobs, the infrastructure jobs, the construction workers,
I don't expect you to be capable of even
the builders, the engineers, the plumbers, electricians, you know, the men who get shitted on in society? Why is that still the majority men? Can anybody answer me that? It's not discrimination. It's not because they say women can't do it. It's not because of any of that. It's because women simply
vampires
don't want to do it,
more clever
and quite
than
frankly,
definite.
can't do a lot of that hard, laborious work. They can't do it.
Oh, hello. Just tidying up.
But they want to tell us we're the problem in society. Men are so dangerous, right? They'd rather choose the bear. They'd rather choose the bear than the man. Men are such a detriment to society. Not contributing, not doing anything, right? Well, now, women and society are going to get what they wished for. They're going to get what their worst fears are, especially in a country like America. So you just have men, they're working, they're minding their business. They're not trying to bother anybody. They're not trying to be bothered with women at all, long-term relationships at least. Right? And that's a problem. Who's gonna feed the system? If this path continues, who's gonna feed the system? The system is bound to collapse because why? Women cannot hold this system together by themselves. We understand that. Men have always understood that. But now, men just don't give a fuck. Men do not care anymore.
Shit's gone down,
And
brother.
I understand, I advocate for men to be the best man you can and, go out and make as much money as you can, get in the best shape of your life. And you have men out there who's doing it. But they're getting in shape, getting that money, and they're getting the hell up out of here. That's what's going on. So you have a group of men who are just, you have the group of men who are lazy, who just like, fuck society, man. I can't get a woman. They want Chads, they want Tyrones. I'm not about to marry, the leftovers. So you have those men who just like, man, there's no sense of what am I working for? What am I working towards? Just to pay into a system that doesn't appreciate me, that just says, I'm nothing, who incentivize women to do whatever the hell they want to. Nah. So you have those group of men who just said, fuck it. Fuck it. And then you have another group of men who, like I just said, who are hitting the gym, getting into the best shape of their life, who's eating healthy, getting their mental health good, getting their physical health good, getting their emotional health good, getting their spiritual health good, getting their financial health good. You have those men over there who's getting all all their ducks lined in a row. And as soon as they make enough money, as soon as they hit that sweet spot, they're on the first thing smoking to the Philippines. They're on the first thing smoking
Philippines
to,
again. What the fuck?
Dominican Republic. They're on the first thing smoking to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Holy shit.
They're on the first thing smoking to Colombia. Right? Men are done. And then when it comes to politics, the left nor the right is really addressing men's issues. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the high suicide rates. Yeah. Nobody's really talking about men leaving the country and going to live simple lives somewhere else in another country.
Can't blame them.
Right? Nobody's talking about MGTOW. Nobody's talking about any of this stuff. Neither the left nor the right. Politics in this country is a joke, and nobody's addressing the real problems in society. And men are picking up on that. Young men especially are picking up on that, and they're just saying, to hell with all this shit, to hell with the system, to hell with the political system, to hell with the 9-to-5 system, to hell with all this. I'll work my job, get as much money as I can. As soon as I get my money, I'm out of this bitch. That's how a lot of men are thinking now. A lot of men are just kicking back, relaxing, watching this shit all crash and burn.
Yeah.
Even if men wanted to help, society is refusing help. Society is refusing help. Try giving your 2 cents as a man in today's society. Try giving an opinion as a man in today's society. Try telling the truth. Try telling the truth as a man in today's society.
You'll be attacked
and see where
by
that
everybody. Everybody will attack you.
People are used to believe in lies. People are used to living in this fairy tale la la land.
Amen.
And at this point, America is a fairy tale.
Most people are delusional.
At this point, America's one big shit show, one big drama show, one big soap opera.
Yeah.
And men have said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all don't want to listen to our needs. Y'all don't want to hear us out. Our opinion doesn't matter. Y'all want to continue to cater to the alphabets and bullshit and fairy tales and women's ideology. Right? Enough is enough. This system will not last that much longer.
Yep.
Western society will not last much longer, not at this rate. Not at this rate.
I heard that old gospel music in the background.
And people continue to think that somebody's just going to come along and save the day.
Amen.
People keep thinking that it's going to be one singular politician that's just going to come and save the day. Nobody's coming to save no one.
Everybody's a miracle, guys.
America is in debt. America is behind. We're behind on infrastructure. We're behind on technology. We're behind in the public education space. Our citizens are stupid. Our children are dumb. The men are weak. The men have been feminized. The women are masculine.
Yeah.
Nobody's creating babies.
Yeah. Can't afford it. Too expensive.
This place is more than likely done. This place is more than likely done. And who's going to do anything about it? Who's going to do jack shit about it? Men have either been feminized, castrated, or just see through all the bullshit, and it's just there's no way that they feel like fighting for uh, a system that is either corrupt, right, or a system that is rigged. And trust me, I understand. Salute to you guys. Salute to you guys. I understand. I get it. Because best believe, as soon as I get my ticket, I'm out of here too. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
America's turned into one big nightmare.
Hello.
One big ass nightmare.
Bows and arrows for the mighty huntsman.
It's unhealthy to be here mentally. Most people are not making it financially. Isn't this the richest country in the world? I'm confused. Is this not the richest country in the world?
In what way?
Is this not the most patriotic country in the world? I'm confused. What happened?
Political correctness.
What happened?
Political correctness. That's it.
What happened, man? You can't place your blame on just one singular thing. It's a multitude of things. But I definitely think the biggest thing that played a part in all of this is society just throwing men in the trash. Society believing in bullshit. Like equality.
Yes.
We're equal, don't you want
Yes, we're equal as human beings, but everybody serves their purpose. Men have a purpose. Men serve a special purpose. Women serve a special purpose. Women are great in their own right in what women are great for. Men are great in their own right what men are great at. Men are great at leading. Men are great at building, protecting. Women are supposed to be great at nurturing, loving, right? Mm-hmm. Putting things in order. Mm-hmm. But we're so far removed from reality. We're so far removed from who we are as human beings. Is there any coming back? I'm not a doomer, but I don't think there's no coming back. I think this is where it's supposed to go. This is how it's going to end. This is where it leads. A dead end. And there's a barricade at that dead end. And we're just going to go right over that motherfucking cliff. Mm-hmm. Even if men wanted to stand up and do something, how many men you think are going to do that? How many men you think are going to put their lives on the line for a rigged system? How many men you think are going to, leave their families just to fight a rigged system? How many men you think are going to leave their livelihood for a rigged system? Men are also holding the gate for the rigged system. So you have a whole portion of men who know the system is rigged, but they're on the women's side. They're on the system side. They don't give a fuck. They're holding the gate. They don't mind being simps. They don't mind being agents of the state. They don't mind being agents of the system. They could care less. So as long as there's This separation that you have men over here, men right here, and men over here is going to be the same exact thing. It's going to be the same exact thing. That's what I told you guys before. There's no coming together. There's no fighting anything. This shit is done. Finito. Finished. The best possible thing you can do is get as much money as you possibly can and get the fuck
out.
out of here.
This is it, brothers.
And even if you do stay here, your best bet is to make as much money as you can so you can be above the bullshit. Be above the system.
Oh my God.
There's no point being down here with the peasants. There's no reason for you to be down here with the lowlives if
unfortunately
that's where you want to be. Now, if you want to be a lowlife, which a lot of men are tuning into that, if you want to be a lowlife, go ahead. This channel ain't for you. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah. Got to be smart in today's economy, the way.
But for the men who see through all the political BS from both the left and the right, for the men who see the system for what it is, fucking rigged, for the men who see that housing, mortgage is a trap, 9 to 5 is a trap, the banking system is a trap, credit cards a trap, financing is a trap, all this shit is a trap, especially if you don't have no money, which most people don't have no money. Everybody is living over leveraged. Everybody is living above their means. Everybody's just a mere fucking slave, man.
We're gonna survive, brother. We're gonna
and men
survive
are done.
Yeah.
So of course I'm gonna continue to, to talk to the men who want to rise above. I'm gonna continue to encourage the men who want to rise above. Coaching calls, link in the description. 5 key principles for the modern man. Link is in the description if you want to change your life. I'm gonna continue to encourage those men. But for those of you who don't want to do nothing, who hasn't lit a fire up under your own ass, you better wake up. Because you think that just not doing anything is doing something when it's not. When this shit come all crashing down and burning, you want to have a safe haven. You want to have a way out, unless you just want to burn with all this shit. I'm not burning with this shit. I'm going to do what I have to do and make do with what I have to do. Now, just to play, on the other side, maybe there will be a correction. Maybe I play devil's advocate. Maybe there will be a correction. Maybe something will change. I don't see it, but maybe that could happen. Maybe that could happen. Maybe men will finally come together and push back and get all this shit back right and bring everything back to where it's supposed to be. Maybe that could happen. Less likely, but maybe it could happen, or everything could operate with people just as slaves, right? With people not thinking. Come on now, helicopter. All right. Maybe society can operate off of men being castrated and women being the dominating players of society. Maybe society can operate that way. Who knows? I'm just giving you my 2 cents. And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Once again, another strong black man got his shit together, reaching out, making himself available, trying to make money with it also, of course. Who doesn't? Everything's a scam around now. Down here on the planet, everything's like, I gotta sell you this, I gotta do this, I gotta, very little free down here. But at least he's making himself available as a a mentor or a guide. Sounds like he's got his mind together. And it sounds like he's got his heart in the right place. But in the end, he's not wrong. If you're a faithful believer, you have faith that things are going to be okay despite wars, despite pestilence, despite falling economic value of the country. You have faith that people are still going to need to eat, work, do something to keep a roof over their head, etc., etc. As a faithful believer, you have faith that the Lord will provide. Okay? What he's doing is he's looking at it worldly through facts. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I agree with doing that. You have to be objective and you have to be more personalized, I guess, in your perceptions. You have to see it for what it's worth within the context of your understanding in order to really determine what the hell's going on. But once it's been described, the political correctness, that's what I call it. I call it political correctness. Other people would call it social engineering, various other things. Basically, the result of that is what he described. People being mind-fucked into being something they're not. And they're going on with it because in the end, after they're mind-fucked and reprogrammed, just like in a religion, you get mind-fucked there, you get reprogrammed, you know, your thought process and your values are changed the rest of your natural life. You know, I was too passive, not aggressive. And I wasn't aggressive because I was a coward. So instead of working the coward out of me and making me less of a chicken shit, my mom did the opposite and made it worse by bullying me and traumatizing me because she thought it was funny, entertaining. Yeah, it's so funny. You know what I mean? It's so funny and entertaining watching her own child suffer. The truth is a woman cannot raise a man. A woman can raise another woman, but a woman cannot raise a man. And my mom was in a position where she couldn't raise either. She's a woman, so she can't raise a man, so she tried to raise my sister, and my sister got worse as well. Because my mom had other issues like the toxic personality thing, the diabetic rageaholism. You know, it adds up. It's kind of sad, you know. But anyway, these are excellent topics. Should do this more often. See, the thing is, I used to do this all the time. That's how I learned what I learned about JSX and all these other esoteric, you know, Sarah Adams. And I would listen to their testimonies very carefully because if you're claiming a certain position in this world, then you're required to listen to the testimony of your people. Just like a judge has to sit there and listen to the testimony of the people who are accused, the testimony of witnesses. You have to sit there and listen to what they have to say and try to learn from what's going on and, of course, apply it. But anyway, that's what's going on there. And so I will go ahead and I'm going to end the video. It's at 53 minutes. And we'll go ahead and continue from here. I'm going to quick save it. So far, we're doing pretty good. We almost got enchanting up. And what I should do is go buy some more charged rings. Eventually, I have to switch over. Once I get my enchanting at 100%, I'll make some leather armor. That'll be magical leather armor. The leather armor won't weigh anything, so it's no different than wearing clothes like I am now. I won't use a shield anymore, and I'll do dual casting. And that should work. Now, the problem is that those rogue mages, you can't kill them with that. Not even on the level that I have this thing set to can you kill those rogue mages. The only thing you could do with rogue mages is just run your ass out of there. That's it. But anyway, we'll go ahead and stop the video here and go back and just give this guy a shout out. It's another gentleman that, a black gentleman's got his shit together.
Topic for you guys.
And, you know, he's in good shape. He's taking care of himself. He's got his business. That's probably his truck. You know, he's got his shit together. He's trying to get it relaxed. It's the 5 key principles for modern men. Well, I'm not really a modern man. I'm more like a what's it? Alpha, beta, gamma, well, whatever's below gamma. But you know, they make perfect sense. Most of these people that I listen to have something. I rarely get somebody that I really find something I disagree with or don't like. But the thing is, you know, I came from a background where I was abused, and you know, nobody gave a shit, and that's why if a man steps up and he's got at least halfway decent answers to the question, and he's willing to make an effort like this guy's, you know, I can respect that. I have total respect for that. So once again, his name, the name of his channel on YouTube is The After Pill, and he wrote a book. Men are relaxing as it all collapses. Right, because men have realized that they can't do anything about it. When you're in a situation where you can't logically change anything, you're going to sit there and watch it burn. Just like if somebody came and raided your village and they burnt your home to the ground and they left you alive just to teach you a lesson, you're going to sit there and learn the lesson. And the next time they come, either you're going to kill them, or they're going to kill you off, or you're going to move. And that's the way it is, brother. Right now, most people are just sitting there watching it burn. You know, they're getting out the marshmallows and watching the whole thing burn. You know, cooking their marshmallows and their wieners. Anyway, this world is a bitch, I'll tell you. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's already been about 56 minutes, and we'll continue in a second.